So very good afternoon to all of you. One thing I must discuss with you before entering the next part of our discussion, that is in Python, we already discussed how to pass arguments to a function. That thing I already discussed. So one important thing that I must have to discuss over here, that how we can pass variable number of arguments to a function. How we can pass a variable number of arguments in the function. So in Python, this thing can be achieved by writing star or giving a star before the variable name. Here I use the variable name for the argument as argc. It can be any name that you want to provide. It can be star A. Say I want to give the name star A. Okay. So when I'm giving A, that means it is basically a set of arguments or a list of arguments that we are passing to the function. Okay. And what I'm writing for I in A, print I. Okay. Now I'm calling the function fun with two parameters. When I'm calling the functions with two parameters, parameter 1 and 2, it gets printed 1 and 2. Second function call comprises with four parameters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So it is giving 1, 2, 3, 4. And the third call, that is fun abcxyz. Again, I passed two parameters. Okay. But with different data type. Different data type matlab two strings. Okay. ABC and XYZ. Two string I passed over here. When I'm passing ABC and XYZ as two string, it again maps to argument A, which can take the multiple number arguments. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3. Any number of argument it can take, and we can use those arguments in our function definition. So look, here as per the definition, I just print the argument. So that's why it is basically printed ABC and XYZ. So we can take the multiple number of argument, rather the variable number of argument, where the number of argument is not fixed in case of user-defined function. Then we take help to define a function in this manner. So that it can print, it can take the variable number of argument, and using those arguments, we can execute our function body. Okay. So next point that I must discuss, that why we are using, or rather why we are discussing this topic over here. We are moving to a topic which is known as function overloading or method overloading. There's a very well-known concept of object-oriented programming. This is known as polymorphism. Okay. This is known as polymorphism. What polymorphism means? Polymorphism means that the same function can be defined in with different parameter list. This is known as function overloading. So what function overloading means? Under the same class, function overloading means, just a minute. Function overloading means same function name with different parameter list same function name with different parameter list under single class. But if you want to implement this concept, or rather if you try to implement this concept, try to write same function name with different parameter list under single class, you will get an error message. So the same concept that I can implement here by writing a code in this way. So this is the definition. It's the same function name with different parameter list under the single class. So this can be achieved by writing the code bit similar. Just a minute. Let me share my screen. Yes, that's shared. So bit similar. That how we define, or rather how we pass the variable number of arguments to a function. Okay. Here, what I'm doing, I'm passing a argument. The default value of this argument is none. And the parameter, that is a C, which can be used to take variable number of arguments, because a star is given before it. So now, look, here I'm taking another parameter, say XYZ. So I have created an object of class A that is OB1. Okay. I'm calling function F1, first call, that is line number 22, without any parameter. What is the meaning of default parameter? If we don't pass any value. So when the default value of this parameter is none, okay, let me share my screen once again. Okay, so the earlier concept that we discussed, that how we pass the variable number of arguments, using this concept, we can achieve this method overloading over here. The first parameter is the self by default. The second parameter is the default value, that is none. If we don't pass any parameter, if any value for the A, if we are not passing any value for the A, it will take none. And the third parameter, that is telling us that it can take the multiple number of arguments. So here, first I have created an object OB1, fine. Then I'm calling the functions F1. without any parameter. When I'm calling the functions f1 without any parameter, that means the value of a, that means it is not provided, I'm not passing any value to the parameter a. So that means the default value will be treated as none. When the value is none, as per the function definition is telling, when the value is none, the value of c is exit. Okay. When the value of a is integer, okay, the value of c is 0, and when the value of c is str, the initial value of c is an empty string. And as per the definitions, what it is telling that I in arg c. So whatever the parameter I passed, in case of integer parameter, it will be added. In case of string parameter, this will be concatenated. And when I'm not passing any parameter to a, only exit gets printed. So if I run this code, look, in the first case, I haven't passed any parameter. So only exit gets printed. In the second case, line number 24, I'm passing str, okay? I'm passing the type str, I'm passing 3 string A, B, C, D, F, X, Y, Z. The string gets concatenated, I'm getting the result A, B, C, D, F, and X, Y, Z. And for the third call, that is 1020, that is 25 line number, it gets concatenated, okay? It gets concatenated, and I'm getting, it gets summed. So I'm getting 30 for this. And line number 26, I'm passing str once again, but instead, earlier I passed 3 string, here I passed 4 string. MCKV, then institute, then